Hey, what's shaking, turkey bacon? It's your host with the toast, Doc Mindbender, man. This is Doc's Rants. Let me fix my mic here. Let's start off by saying it feels good being black. Feels good being black today. I woke up today in a good-ass headspace, real good headspace. You know what I'm saying? Niggas got babies to feed, I got moves to make. Anybody that knows me knows that's how I operate. So I want to start off by saying if you keep your circle small, matter of fact, you can't even have a circle. You gotta just have like a little triangle or just a line with 2 points at the end. But if you keep that circle small, you don't have to worry about who did this, who said that, all that bullshit. Now, we all know that trouble can find you. You know what I'm saying? We know this. Trouble has found me many times. When you in the vicinity, minding your business, it will find you. Most of the time, though, the fuckery comes along with the company that you keep around you. I repeat, most of the time, the fuckery comes along with the company you keep around you. So now it's story time. I want to say this was 2009. I had just finished my apprenticeship in Florida, my tattoo apprenticeship. The place I was renting a room at, they sold the house, so I had a very short amount of time to either find a place or go to New York and stay at my mom's crib, you know what I'm saying, for a little minute, get my shit back together and do tattoos. Now, at this time, like, I stayed in New York before, but I didn't have the hustle. I was just working a job. So now it's like, okay, I can go there, I can work, and I have a hustle now. I have a skill that I can bring to the table. Now, any other time, I would have never, ever moved back to New York, but this was on some spur of the moment shit. And there was no lease. So technically, the landlord was illegally renting. Me, personally, I was already, at this point, a licensed tattoo artist at that time, so I was pretty much like, fuck Florida. I was ready to make moves. Mind you, the tattoo shop I was apprenticing at, they only allowed me to use their equipment and stuff. I think it was like a liability thing, so I could only practice tattooing on myself with this makeshift homemade nigga rig tattoo machine. For the record, I used a beard trimmer that I took the top, like, razor part off, and I used that motor, and then I stole some tubes and needles from the tattoo shop, and I also got some spindles from like a, what you call that shit, like a sewing machine with the little holes on the top, the shit that spin around, and I hooked the tattoo needles into that and created my first tattoo machine. It was a little blue joint. Anybody that knows me remembers this machine. It was very dangerous. I should have never been using this shit. Straight jailhouse flow. That's what it was looking like. I digress. So now, I touched down in New York. You know, I had to go see all my people. Blood-related, homies, day ones. You know how it go. I'm gonna speed through this part because, you know, I just want to thank my cousins for sacrificing their body parts to let me learn and get as good as I am today. Not that I'm the greatest, but as good as I am today. I was broke as hell when I got there. I believe I had $600 to my name when I got out there. And that was supposed to last me until I got the ball rolling. So again, God bless my cousins. 3 or 4 of them put their money together to get me an official tattoo machine and all the other things that I needed to come along with it. The stencil paper, the needles, the tubes, the clientele. They was handing off people to me like there was no tomorrow. I paid it off by tatting them all up while getting better. You know, repetition and perfecting the techniques that I learned in the shop. You know what I'm saying? While also learning new techniques through trial and error. Them niggas sacrificed. You know, they sacrificed. So I still feel like I owe a lot to them. So moving forward, one day after I'm doing my cousin's tattoo, he plugs me in with a Latino nigga that hit me with $500 to do a back piece for him, full back piece. Now, in retrospect, I should have gotten way more because I'm kind of a detail-oriented artist, so I was taking my time and making that shit look right, you know, crispy lines, and also Latino dude. I call him Latino dude because I don't want to drop no names. So Latino dude plugs me in, and he says his sister want to get something done. I'm like, shit, nigga, I'm free tomorrow. What's shaking? He's like, give sis your address. She's gonna pick you up at 10 a.m. She has plenty of cash. What? And you can start her sleeve. What? On some full day session type of shit. So I'm happy. which I like, and also thinking back, which I shouldn't have been doing because I was only licensed to do 3 hours of contact per client per day. But I'm new to the game, naive as fuck, so the next morning I wake up, I get all my shit situated. She comes, she picks me up 10 a.m. on the dot. I told her, I was impressed with her punctuality. I was being nice. I also believe this was the year when they came out with them Nissan Maximas that had the futuristic body, the futuristic vector body, and they had the Mohawk sunroof. Remember the sunroof that went from the back to the front? So I was also impressed by that. So I put my shit in the trunk. Now, mind you, I used to and I still do keep my tattoo equipment in the stainless steel carrying briefcase type shit. It's like a box, you know what I'm saying? But when I opened up the trunk to put my shit in there, she had like 4 briefcase boxes in there. I'm like, oh, that's dope. These shits look just like my box. They're like little miniature versions of my box. So, but I didn't think nothing of it. I shut the trunk, I get in the whip. Nigga, when I tell you this shit smelled like the most delectable loud ass weed in this car, my nigga, bro, she didn't even have nothing lit, and I started coughing as she started backing out the driveway. That's real talk. That's on everything, bro. Started coughing. We getting acquainted. She's this little 4 foot short. She's cute. You know what I'm saying? She's a little cutie. Can barely even see over the steering wheel. She was very attractive, but I kept it professional. We go down the block, 2 stop signs. She lights up a cigarette. I'm like, oh shit, you mind if I spark one too? She did not mind. I lit the bogey. We go around the corner, hit Lowell Ave. We turn by the Central Islip Rec Center. Anybody that's from around there, you know what I'm talking about. We was off of Lowell, hit that right. We hit the stop sign on Clayton Street, get to the red light by the firehouse. At that moment, I open up the ashtray, and the boys roll up on the left-hand side of the intersection. They're in the turning lane to go left, and we're going straight. So we're either gonna wind up behind them, or they're gonna wind up behind us because it's early morning, nobody else is on the road, it's just us and them. As we proceed to sit in this intersection with the police sitting right there, dolo, I notice this chick got a whole ashtray full of fat blunt clips. Fat shits. These wasn't normal size blunt clips. These were like big dookie joints, like just big disrespectful shits that make you wonder, like, well, damn, how big was the blunt? Type of blunt clips. Like, now mind you, I was still on some broke nigga survival mode type of life, so all blunt clips was fair game in my eyes at that time. You know what I'm saying? So she saw I was using the ashtray to ash the bogey on top of the holy grail of blunt clips. And what do y'all think she did? What do you think she did with the police sitting right there? Tinted windows, blasting Future. I don't want to call out her name because I respect her, but this fucking woman rolls down her window, which was already limousine, dark ass tint, pops the ashtray out and dumps it out the window right in front of these niggas. Yes, yes, I applaud your unapologetic and bold approach to life, but as soon as she dumped that shit out, they hit the lights. They hit the lights. Then the traffic light turned green. We go straight. They bust a left right behind us. She pulled right over. We were both very polite. There was 2 police, 2 of us, and we were polite and we were cordial to the constables on patrol. But obviously the car still reeked of weed, so we had to get out and do the whole step out the car, irrelevant ass questions and jargon. I was clean. They was questioning a homegirl on the other side of the car. I couldn't really hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? Then the cop that was on the side with me, they told me to get back in the car. Mind you, this whole time I'm thinking this shit about to be a breeze. And worst case scenario, they give us some kind of ticket for littering or some shit. Nope. When you in New York, expect the worst. always expect the worst. And I'm telling you this, all jokes aside, off the love for humanity, if you bought equal in the whip with a black motherfucker in the slums, it's never gonna go good. Even if it's just bad at first and it ends up like on some false alarm, you get some kind of warning shit, it ain't gonna start out good. I'm sitting in the whip playing the waiting game. These niggas pop the trunk. The dude on my side, on the passenger side, come over like, and I quote, "Damn, I didn't know you guys robbed an air freshener factory." That's what he said. At this moment, I'm perplexed. I'm like, what the fuck is this nigga talking about? Next thing I know, the cop that was talking to her came over to the driver's side window like, "Whose weed is this?" I told him, "I don't know. The only thing in this car that belongs to me is my tattoo equipment." He turned around and he starts talking to her. Few seconds later, I hear that same dude say, "All you gotta do is tell us it's his and you're all good." Now, I'm sitting in the car shitting bricks, you know what I'm saying, begging the Lord not to let this chick get on some bullshit. I waited and waited. You know how they like to play the waiting game. They brought both of us to the 3rd precinct in Brentwood. Tried to book me. But I have to say that the girl, and I don't know her name, I wish I did because I would thank her because she kept it real. She could have easily fabricated some shit and fucked up my life for real. But she didn't do that. I sat in the holding cell, handcuffed to the table all day with like 5 other dudes who looked and they smelled like they had a rough night. They didn't bring me in no rooms and ask me no questions and put the light on me, no interrogations. But I never saw that girl again. They definitely had to have her in a room interrogating her. Because I saw, like, at the end of the whole shit, I saw, like, the boxes of weed in there. And it wasn't just those ones. She had shits under the fucking thing where the spare tire goes. Mad little suitcases of weed. So, but obviously she stood 10 toes down and she ate that. And like 3 hours later, they cut me loose. It was weird, bro. The whole situation was weird. Looking back at this experience, I know she did that out of respect for my cousins because they knew her. You know what I mean? They knew her and her brother, and that's who plugged me in. Big respect. It was very humbling, and I was very thankful that I was able to make it out this situation without losing my freedom. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I did for a few hours, but it could have been a lot worse. Now, my question is, if anybody gets in a car that smells like that much weed, are you still gonna get in? Most of us will not care. We don't give a fuck. We don't think that hard when we're courting new company. You know what I mean? And plus I was in survival mode and there was money to be made. You know what I mean? I was getting in that Maxima that day. One way or the other, I was getting in that Maxima. Be careful of those you keep around you. This is where wrong place, wrong time stems from. Everybody want to be cool so bad. There's nothing wrong with not chilling in niggas circles because they live in foul, but keep being cool with the dude. You know what I'm talking about? Or the female, whoever it is. You know what I mean? I know it could be hard to actually know what's going on when you first meet a motherfucker, but that's why I go back to the beginning when I say keep your circle small. If your circle too big, keep a support triangle. If that's too big, create that line with a point at both ends and never let anyone cross that line. Till next time, I'm Doc Mindbender.